There's a lot of anecdotal advice around on improving your marriage. But if you want something you can really use that will actually make a difference and reignite your marriage, check out the link in the description below.
The question, I think I hate my wife, should I just say screw it and go for a divorce? Answer by Donna Goddick Stewart. Oh, please do. Because if you truly do hate her, you will eventually make her life a living hell. You will become resentful. She will become a victim of your hatred. Please, do this now. Leave now. Believe me when I say your wife already knows how you feel. And you will be doing a favor for yourself as well. Nobody wants to live with someone they hate. And no one wants to live with someone who hates them. The kindest thing that you can do right now is to put an end to the marriage before someone is hurt seriously, physically or otherwise. Answer by Osiris Hasso. Yes, if you think you hate your wife and you have to ask strangers on the internet who know absolutely nothing about you whether you should stay married to her, you obviously lack the interpersonal skills to make your relationship work. She deserves better. Answer by Mex Cobain. The ironic thing about this month of love is that the first 6 weeks or so of the new year are the busiest time of the year for divorce lawyers, or so they say. It seems that many people are not feeling as much love and romance as Hallmark would hope. Many are actually feeling hate. Try this. This is how I saved my marriage. Pete Manoy medium. She did love her hubby until the day he died and still misses him so much she weeps talking about him, more than 30 years after his death. But my Oprah wasn't her best friend, her girlfriend Beulah was. She didn't rely on him for help, raising the kids or with the housework. Times have changed, nor did she expect him to understand her feelings. She relied on herself for happiness and fulfillment, and truthfully, she didn't have high expectations there, either. But she'd tell you she had a wonderful marriage. When I asked her if she had had a happy life, she's now 104 years old, she giggled at the absurdity of the question. Clearly she has. There is an expectations paradox here. The demands put on our relationships have become so great and our expectations of them have gotten so high that we are more likely to be disappointed when we don't get what we want from our partners than we are to feel grateful when we do. My grandmother expected very little from her husband, only that he provide her with financial stability, and that he be faithful to her. My grandfather delivered on these things, and as an added bonus, shared with her a love of dancing, a social life full of mutual friends and dinner parties, and a muted joy in raising children and grandchildren. Ariely's conclusion is that when people believe that something might be distasteful, they'll experience it negatively, even if they would have liked it otherwise. The reverse is also true. We Americans are born and bred to expect, well, everything. The American dream, which, from a happiness habit standpoint, is a bit more of an American nightmare, teaches us to always be striving. We can always have it better than our parents' generation, if only we work hard enough. Of course there is someone else out there for you. There always is. The real question is about whether or not you can be happy with the person you are already with. All of this raises several more questions for me. How much can we really expect of our spouses and still be happy? How can we let go of unrealistic expectations? We know that expectations can lead us to relationship killers, like nagging, contempt, and criticism. How can we respond constructively when our expectations aren't met? Even the politicians have gotten into the act. The Republican Party is fighting over which candidate is more pro-family. Local government's big vocal excuse for raising taxes almost always is for the children. The media tells us to buy a certain car so our families can be safe and happy. If you get married in America, you are expected to enter your home with your spouse and shut the door behind you because your life as you know it is over. It's about the nuclear family and not much more. So I can see why people put their intimate relationship under a microscope. There is much to expect out of just one other person. And about the woman who had a wonderful husband and looking at the greener grass. I don't think that this is a good example of how a lot of divorcees have lived before the big split.